Are we really still talking about sign stealing, information gathering? Yes, we are. And we have been for some years. We started with Brent Venables at Clemson. We've gone through Connor Stallions in Michigan. Now we're back to Brent Venables at Oklahoma as Ryan Grubb has a message for Brent Venables, who is very good at what Lane Kiffin called information gathering. What's up, kid folks? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Are you still on sign stealing? Because I'm still on sign stealing. That's why we're doing the segment. I really love it. I'm giggling because it feels so very blatantly elementary. But sign stealing across sports has people feeling some kind of way about the morals of what it is they're watching. Never mind that dudes be betting on sports now, and some dudes be giving insider information on betting on sports. Never mind that. But I find it fascinating that in this age, where you got an NBA betting scandal, you got Major League Baseball betting scandal, you got college basketball betting scandal, and it feels like the NFL and college football are playing with fire on this, especially with the match fixing that be going on overseas in soccer and whatnot. And the long history of paying dues to take a dive, in whether it be cycling, boxing, whatnot, that we're back to sign stealing, because sign stealing is basic. The reason I say it's basic is because we start learning signs at 4 or 5 years old. You know, you get your first sign indicator, second sign indicator when you play baseball. Same thing is happening on a football field when dudes signal in signs. But also, it's a sport that has grown out of its sign stealing era, or should have, because we got this little thing called Coach Com, where the coach can talk directly to the green dot helmet. On offense, that's the quarterback, and on defense, that's usually a safety or a linebacker, and they communicate the call. That way you don't have to send in signals, but people still use signals for their own reasons. Sometimes your coach comm goes down. Sometimes it's too loud to hear this, the guy in your ears, so you need to have it telegraphed on the sideline as well. So you got two ways of understanding what the play call is supposed to be. That's the reason you see so much of it even now. But one of the things that I find interesting about this particular juncture is how coaches have gone out of their way to do something for Brent Venables that they don't do for Connor Stallions, right? Connor Stallions is getting turned in by other Big Ten coaches who've cried foul. This is not fair. This is illegal. This is cheating. And what was cheating was going to other people's stadiums to videotape their signals, taking it home, and then breaking down the call. And the evidence is in Connor Stallions telling us that's exactly what he did in a Netflix documentary about his sign stealing. Okay? He did that. That's your evidence. All right? For all the folks who are going, show me the evidence. He threw a phone in the ocean. He talked about what they were doing and then said, hey, look, I would have the signals and I broke them down and I put them in this book. All he didn't say was, yeah, I paid people to go over there and take video of our 30 maybe opponents. Whatever. If you want to play dumb, play dumb. I'm not going to play Goku. Okay? You play Goku. All right? Only part of Goku I'm going to be playing is being super strong, training like I got somewhere and somebody to beat, and always be hungry for something. The stupid part, I'm going to leave that for you that wants to play dumb. We're not here to play dumb. Matter of fact, this show doesn't play dumb. This is for a smart college football fan. So if you're making this argument, you're thinking the rest of us are stupid. And we're not going to, we don't appreciate that. And I'm going to show you if you do this in the comments. I'm already telling you, it's not a wolf ticket that I'm selling. We'll eject you. It's okay. It's cool. Now, Brent Venables is getting heralded by Lane Kiffin and Ryan Grubb. Lane Kiffin, who said, look, they're very good at information gathering. He's trying not to say sign stealing because I think it's got a negative connotation now, but they will watch you on the sideline or watch you in film and go, oh, this is what you're doing. This is how we know what you're in. And sometimes you can see it. And the way that Lane Kiffin knew that he had some of Auburn's signals cold is you saw players that were in positions that are unorthodox. You're only going to be in this position if you know where the play is going, because that's not where you would normally line up. The safety that he's talking about, I remember this play, it's you're in a single high, right? But you got a safety that's basically sitting on a slant. Like he's standing right where the slant is going to be dumped if it's going to be dumped. And that's right where it was. And you can do that if you know what play is coming and if you know what they like to go on certain situations. Some coaches, or not some coaches, all coaches have tendencies. We all have a play call that we rely on. We all have get back on track. We all have that play call, right? We all have what do we need to do if nothing else is working? And if it works and we use it more than twice, that's a trend, guys. We're going to log that in film study, and we're going to, okay, what's the formation look like? Where are the wide receivers? What is the quarterback looking at? And what coverage was the defense in? And we're going to try to do that. Ryan Grubb has said, look, we've taken that all into account. And if Brent Venables is watching, we're changing everything. We have changed everything. It's not going to be the same. I think you've added another layer for your opponent to try to build into their work week that is not regular. It's like teams that are preparing for the triple option for that 1 week. It's like taking everything you've done and adding in another, not wrinkle, but like entirely different, like not speed bump, like boundary, like boulder. It's just really difficult to navigate and overcome. It's not a wrinkle. It's something you can't sprint by it. You have to say, oh, we changed the signal. And if that leads to just a half second of you having some indecisiveness, that's a win for the defense. Because remember, football is slanted to the offense. The offense gets to say when they're going to snap, and they know what they're going to do. The defense has to react to everything the offense is doing, which is why you always want to get to a defense that gets to dictate terms. If we know you're in 3rd and long, we know that you're going to throw the football. 1st down, that's anything. You can do anything you want. 2nd down, you can do almost anything you want. 3rd and short, you can do almost anything you want. 4th down, it just depends, right? If you got some play calls now where guys might sell out, but Brent has made a career out of knowing when to send 8, 6, 7, whatever, and when to simulate that pressure. And his players are often in the best position possible because he's such a film junkie and a film freak. Favorite story to tell about this is Rufus Alexander told me on a podcast I did a long time ago that led to this show. He said, look, when I'm playing end, Brent is yelling at me on the sideline to move outside. I'm like, I'm lined up where I'm supposed to be lined up. I know I am. He's like, no, I need 2 steps right. Move 2 steps right. And he's going, and he's, no, move 2 steps right. And he moved the 2 steps right, and the play came right to where he was standing, and he made that play in the backfield. And I'm going, my God, this dude really does understand his alignments and where everything is going to happen and where everything is going to be. All you got to do is trust him. It's also a man that's as amped up as I am. You know, famously used to take a Red Bull, used to take a Gatorade, drink half the Gatorade, take the Red Bull, dump it in what's left of the Gatorade, shake it up, and then guzzle that. Because he's just that type. He'd be out in the morning running stadium steps, be getting it in, because that's just how he is wired. He's also not wired to appreciate success. He's wired to say, cool, we did what we were supposed to do. Now let me go back to work so I can do it again. Love that, and I appreciate that. And I see a guy in Ryan Grubb, a guy in Lane Kiffin, a guy in Kalen DeBoer. All these guys have a certain amount of respect for a dude that puts in that kind of work and say, doesn't cheat the way the Connor Stallions did.